Okay, so I just discovered, well, I didn't just discover, but I've always known I'm a complete and utter moron. So, as you can see, my crystal collection and some of my antiques. Yeah, these are like this is like a Victorian shadow box, and yeah, all my antique dolls and everything is surrounded. I'm pretty much a hoarder, and if I showed you my house, you guys would probably be like, "Oh my God, okay, that's how much crap I have." So I have an antique trunk. As you can see, the idiot Ding Dong had placed rocks that weigh at least 60 pounds on top of it because there's no more room for my crystal collection anywhere in the house. Yeah, I pretty much need to buy another house in order to actually show off all my antiques and my collection. So I wanted to get in here to show you my, and by the way, it's layers of dust because I'm too lazy to dust. Instead of showing you videos on YouTube, I should be dusting my house. Okay, so I had to get into this trunk somehow to show you my antique opera glass collection. So you guys better give me a thumbs up because going through all this effort of taking about 60 to 80 pounds of rocks off of this trunk to get in here, yeah, I definitely deserve a thumbs up or some kind of super chat or something. All right, so I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna get in there. You're gonna see like an amazing collection of antique opera glasses tonight. Okay, I am out of breath and I'm about to pass out. So these are all the opera glasses, and you see them in these red pouches. I keep them in there to protect them. And whew, oh my God, I'm gonna have a heart attack. Okay, so I'm gonna take a bunch of them out and show you guys. I didn't realize I had these many. Now, not only do I have them in this trunk, I have about another 25 pairs in my china closet. And as you can tell, I'm out of shape. I don't even know what's below this tray that pulls out. There's probably more opera glasses. I don't know where this went. I was looking for this for God knows how long. And you might be thinking, are you smoking pot? Are you smoking a bowl? No, I'm not smoking a bowl. This is Victorian, and it's actually it looks like Venetian glass, and it was some kind of like scent bottle, but it does look like drug paraphernalia, and this is, I guess, Victorian drug paraphernalia. So this actually has two entry points here and here. And I believe it once held scents in it, or, well, not scents as in coins, but like smells, or cocaine, maybe opium. I have no clue. Do you know? Write in the comments below. I do know this is very old and Victorian, though. Now, the little chain on it actually would have hung from a lady's belt or her waist, and she would carry this around, and she would definitely not be smoking a bowl. All right, let's get back to the, oh my God, the opera glasses. I'm still out of breath. Can you believe this crap? I just found this, and it's entitled Mother of Pearl Snuff Bottle. This one's cool. I didn't even know I had it. I swear to God. So I guess snuff was kept in this. This is actually beautiful. My God, I have so many antiques that I can't even enjoy. There's more snuff bottles. And what the hell is a snuff bottle, you might ask? It's something that they kept like some kind of tobacco in, and they would snuff it up their nose. So again, it's almost like drug paraphernalia. So let's check this one out before I show you the other stuff. Cool beans. Look at this one. And again, oh, I stuck this little chain on it because it was missing the chain that would have attached to it. But there we go. Mother of Pearl snuff bottle. Look how cool that is, right? All right, next, let's see what it's... This video is going to be way too long. Nobody's going to watch this. Nobody in their right mind is going to watch this. And I'm going to actually regret doing this because I have to repack everything up back in the way it was, then put all those crystals back on top of the trunk and all this other stuff. But here's another one. Here we go, another mother of pearl snuff bottle. Quite cool. All right, let's continue. All right, this isn't all of them. I was like thinking about opening up every single one, and I'm like, nah. All right, so the ones I got out of the pouches already, let me show you the different kinds. So now opera glasses, what are they? They're basically telescopes, but they're really not telescopes, but they were actually created by the invention of the telescope. So one person who created the telescope actually decided to attach two telescopes together, and that's how they came out with the opera glasses. Then they realized that you can actually mess around and you can make it so that they can focus by putting these wheels in the center. So early opera glasses started out with what like a miniature little eyepiece that was like a little telescope so you can see figures on stage easier. And then they attached two of them together side by side so you can peer into it and like the modern day binoculars and what have you. And there you go. So, what are these things and why are they so dainty and so fancy and so pretty? I'll tell you why. Because women are slaves to fashion. And believe it or not, if you went to the theater, which there was nothing to do, let's face it, if you lived during the Victorian era, you were screwed. Well, you didn't know you were screwed because you didn't know anything else. But wouldn't you just absolutely die if you had knowledge that there's the internet, radio, TV, and all that other stuff? And then suddenly, I don't know, the electrical grid went down and you couldn't do anything anymore. What the hell would you do? No radio, no TV, no internet. I guess you would go back to watching the theater again. And if you hear that scratching on the glass, it's my dog. Hold on, let me let him in. Women of the Victorian era were just as narcissistic and egotistical as women today. And I'm one of them. And were slaves to fashion. So if you walked into a theater, which wasn't cheap, back in the day, the theater was very expensive. Just like if you go to Broadway in New York City, you're going to be plunking down several $100s for a ticket to watch a Broadway play. Well, back then, not only did you really need a pair of these if you weren't sitting in the front row, if you know what I mean, they actually magnified the people on stage. But if you think about it, how wonderful would it be to just peer through one of these, and I'm being sarcastic, throughout the whole entire play, and you're just like looking through this, and you're just, I don't know, it's just like today with our cell phone when we go to concerts, we're actually not watching the concert, we're filming the concert through our iPhones or Androids. So that's sort of similar to the Victorian ladies. Now, there was some theaters that were so snooty that if a lady did not have her own pair of fancy opera glasses, they would not admit her into the theater. So that's how important it was for a lady to have the most fanciest, the most expensive of opera glasses. If you didn't own a pair of opera glasses and you decided to go watch a theater or a play or go to a live concert of the time at a theater, you were not admitted in because you were like sort of, that lowly middle class, you know, that lowly person that can't afford opera glasses. Well, I'll tell you something. Opera glasses were not cheap, especially these type or these type or these type back in the day. Now, I found ads for these opera glasses, most of them made in France, by the way. And during the late 1800s, the mid 1800s, all the way to the early 20th century, like 1900, 1910, around there, it would cost a lady for a good pair of opera glasses in today's money anywhere between $200 to about $1,000. This was like high tech technology. And so here, let's show you some of the different kinds. Now, there was all different kinds, some more expensive than others. Now, this one is more of a middle class ladies one, and it wasn't really expensive. It was more of a novelty, and it's shaped like a purse. And this is actually French, and you can see the French words, La Reine and Paris. On the back, it would have had a wheel. The wheel is long gone, but it even has a handle like a purse. So a lady could just walk around and carry this like a purse when she went into the theater, and she would be able to watch the show. Now, the cool part about this is this pops open. And if you turn this little piece right here, it's like, I really don't like doing this because I am a klutz and I'm going to end up breaking something. But this would pop open like an accordion, and you would actually see like an accordion, and you would have two lenses. I'm not going to bother because this is Art Nouveau era. This is 1890s. You can see that definite Art Nouveau design with the naturalistic, like nature scene going on there, and made out of leather, and I'm not messing with it. All right, next. These were very expensive during their heyday. And these would probably cost a lady about $500. This is abalone shell, and you can see that. Don't know if I'm pronouncing that right, but abalone was prettier than plain mother of pearl, and it had almost like an iridescent sheen to it. I don't know if you could see that, but look at that. And these were quite beautiful opera glasses that, if you had the money, you were going to be able to afford them. Now, the cool part is it has a lorgnette handle, probably pronouncing that incorrectly too. And this telescopes and opens up and extends. And then you could push it in and make it shorter to go in your pocket or in this little pouch of some sort. Fold it over the glasses, and there you go. Now, this particular one, I'm looking for a maker. I don't see it. It's usually in here somewhere. These were probably made by a company by the name of Lemire. All right, next we have another really fancy pair made out of seashell. And these were made by Audemars of Paris. And the best name brands were by a company by the name of Lemire. And there's the Lemire name right there. But Audemars was quite expensive as well. The one without the handles, like this, with this fancy, almost like blister. You could see it's like a blister pearl, or I forgot what they call that. Would probably sell about $300 to $400, and these were quite fancy. All right, so now I was telling you about Lemire, right? Lemire, everybody was copying off of them. So a lot of people actually was selling counterfeit versions of Lemire, and they just spelt it slightly different. So you see how it's spelled Lemaire? There was a lot of counterfeit and bootleg ones being sold, spelled Lemeire, and then Lemire started suing them. And so you might find opera glasses that are spelt incorrectly, and they're the fake Lemires of their time. Okay, so this one right here, here's a 1930s version, German. So we got the German ones right here. These were made by, well, it would have the jeweler or the store you bought it at's name on there. And this was Atchison and Company. And then over here you have Atchinson's and Company. But if you look around and you look hard enough, you'll find that these are German, and these were by Emil Busch, and they're known for some of the best, like opera glasses. Not only opera glasses, but like field. When I say field glasses, I mean like what's the word? Basically accessories of war. So World War One and World War Two soldiers would have the very best, and most likely it was made by Emil Busch. All right, so these are 30s, and you can see how things change, right? Things look so different from the Victorian counterparts. All right, so here we go. Here's another one. Now this is more of a middle class person's binoculars. If they would allow you even in a fancy theater with these, it would be great. And these are made by, I believe, let's check it out. Sportier, and it's another French company, Paris. And what's cool about these is they're made out of like aluminum, and you see like a stag on them, which is quite cool, with some chrome, right? And then you see a hunting scene on the back. But these wouldn't have been as much money. These are your like $100 opera glasses. All right, next. The ones I just showed you today that I just got for 25 bucks, I scored heavy on eBay. The person thought it was 1950s binoculars, and these are 1880s opera glasses. And I believe, now I did a little bit of a test, and this is showing as gold. So these may be gold filled, which is quite cool. One side we have a daisy pattern, and the other side we have like cartouches and fancy little fauna going around there. So there you go. There's another pair. Something like this would have probably cost about $500-600, especially with the gold filling. All right, next. Let's check it out. All right, so here's another pair of fancy opera glasses. And as you can see, as the years go on, the older they are, the bigger they are. Towards the early 20th century, they get smaller. So this is probably about 1900, 1906, 1910, 1915, and we have chrome. And then also other ones were made out of brass. I like the chrome ones the best. They always shine up like a new penny when I get them. And this has a lorgnette handle. And I'm probably pronouncing it wrong because I pronounce anything French incorrectly. And I'll show you how a lorgnette handle works in a second. What is a lorgnette handle? Now, sometime in the late 1800s, they patented this type of design, these handles. So a lady would hold it up to her eyes, and it was more of it was more decorative than functional, because after a while this gets very heavy and very tiresome, especially if you're going to hold it up during the whole entire play. Pretty much, the extend out, and you can look even fancier. And then they collapse back down, and then you can just fold it up over. But there you go. This is an early 20th century version. Very, very pretty with the mother of pearl. Probably cost somebody about $500. Yep. And that was definitely a rich person. Okay, here's another pair of middle class French glasses. And these are made of a fake ivory. And ivory was getting more and more expensive at the time, so they tried to come up with different ways to emulate ivory. And I believe this is called ivorine or ivorine. And it has very, very fancy eyepieces right there. And this was made by Chevalier Paris. And these particular ones are rare because the earlier ones made by Chevalier are very, very hard to find. So I was talking about like the faux ivory. Believe it or not, I never really knew this until recently. These type of fake plastic, I thought that was made like in the 20s and the 30s. But actually this faux plastic or pyrrolin or ivorine, don't know if I'm pronouncing it right, or celluloid, they gave it all different names. It was actually created in the 1860s. Now, this was pretty new to the market, this type of fake plastic, when these were made. And this was made in circa 1870s. And again, it's very, very, very rare to find Chevalier brand opera glasses from this time frame. And look how cool that is. And again, they had very fancy workmanship going around it. But these weren't your premier brand, if you know what I mean. These were more geared to middle class ladies. All right, next, the most expensive brand of all, Lumiere. And these were for the highfalutin ladies. And they did not only come in mother of pearl, silver, gold, nickel, brass, or like these repoussé, raised metal work. They also came in beautiful enamel, porcelain, all sorts of kinds. And if you find the porcelain ones with the enamel ware, all painted and decorated around them, those are big bucks. Those are like $800 to $1,500 opera glasses. So here we go with Lumiere and Paris. And you can see that beautiful iridescent look to it. And again, look how beautiful. These are in like primo condition. And again, we have a lorgnette handle. Let's extend it out. And look how far these extend out. And so a lady would be like walking around all, fancy dancy and showing off these glasses. And they're very heavy. And I'm going to tell you something right now. I don't think any woman would, in her right mind, would sit throughout the whole entire play holding this up to her eyes for that long. There's no way. She would get tired of this very quickly. And I can't even get this back in. There we go. I have to oil this. There's no way in hell. Now, they also had spy glasses built into some of these. So a lady would be looking through these, and there was like a little mirror that was a hidden mirror, and she can actually see the people behind her and to the side of her. So she'd be actually spying on the people at the theater to see like who's who, all the other ladies' dresses, to compare hers to, to see if hers was better than theirs, and who's kissing who and who's dating who. And so she can gossip. They had spy glasses like that. So, people think, oh, I'm just, the lady's just watching the theater, watching the play. But instead, she's checking out what everybody else is doing. All right, so this video is going on a little too long. These, I don't even know what's in here. These are the original pouch that it came in. Pretty cool. It's very hard to find them with their original cases or pouches. And I know a lot of people are going to be like, oh, God, this video is so boring, but some people might find it interesting. All right. If you like the Victorian era like I do, you'll find it interesting. And getting this out is a pain in the ass. Here we go. Now we have generally what would be a man's pair made out of leather. And look at the wine color, almost like a maroon or a burgundy or a wine color. And yeah, this would it'd be a gentleman's pair. And again, it's French. Let's see what it says on it. I can't even see. Ah, Chevalier. And these were probably about 1890s, maybe early 20th century. There you go. Now we have original cases. Most of them came in these original leather cases, and most of them are disintegrated. When you actually do find them, they're just completely falling apart because the leather dry rots over the years. So let's check out this pair. And again, we have a regular, normal mother of pearl pair without the long yet handle, probably about $200 to $350 for the time, at the time frame. So let's try to check that out. And these are Paris, made in France, fancy, but not as fancy as most of them. And a lot of these were given to women as gifts around Christmas time or for Valentine's or, holiday gifts. And it would come sometimes engraved with people's names on them. Now, this one has some interesting information inside. And it says, my ELB, Mrs. EMB, and has some information and address, actually. Maybe I can Google that. And here's an address here. And this came from Louisville, Kentucky. And it was by T.J. Howe and Company Opticians. Now, an optician back in the olden days didn't even have to have a license to be an eye doctor. As long as he sold opera glasses, he was considered a doctor. And these were made in France. And yeah, pretty interesting. Let's see if we even have a date on here. Sometimes they'll have a date. So it appears that this was a gift. And here we go. A simple pair of mother of pearl. Not so simple, but these weren't the most expensive at the time frame. So there you go. And we have some info. Sometimes there'll be an engraved initial on the bottom. These don't have it. So it appears that these were given as a gift to somebody. And never put these in the wrong way, because what will happen is the case will actually break. The leather will that's the end of it. All right, next, let's see what we got here. We got these, all right? And these, again, are your simple mother of pearl of French. Very, very pretty. About $200-300. Not the most highfalutin, but falutin nonetheless. And there you go. Very, very pretty. Very purty. And that's all she wrote for now, I believe. Is there anything else I have to show you? Did I show you them all? I believe I did. Yes. And here we go. Let's put them all back in the winner circle so you can check them out again. Take a gander. Now I got to put everything back. And I'm not too happy about it. I'm a little bit of a hoarder. As you can see, I showed you my trunk situation. And my husband is telling me that when something happens to me one day, God forbid, if I pass away or drop dead, he said that he's going to order the biggest dumpster that he can find, and he's going to throw all my antiques in the garbage. He actually said that. So all this stuff is going to be going in the garbage, he claims. Now, if that's true, I will come back from the dead. I will come back from the dead, and I will haunt the shit out of him. So once again, thank you so much for watching. Hope to see you guys all soon, and maybe eventually I'll get the rest out of the trunk and show you more.